That's so good. Ooh, it's so thick, girl. Yes, that's how I like it. Hey, it's Shelly Wellness here. Welcome to the Mindful Plate. And today we are going to be making a detox breakfast. Now, if you're detoxing or you're cleansing, then you know how wanty your taste buds can get because you're missing all the real food. You know what I mean? You've been drinking your juices and eating your raw foods and the vegan and the plant-based, and sometimes it can get a little boring. Now, if you're used to eating porridges in the morning, I'm talking your oatmeals and your cream of wheats, then I have something for you. Now this porridge is made from bananas and cashews. Very, very easy, and it doesn't require any cooking. It's raw, it's vegan, it's plant-based, it's easy. Let's get into it, y'all. Hey, I'm your host, Shelly Wellness. I'm on this journey to elevate our consciousness around food, and I invite you to join me. On this channel, I'll share recipes created with mindfulness, rooted in wellness. Welcome to the Mindful Plate. So for our banana cashew porridge, we are going to be using bananas first. Now, for our bananas, you have the option, right? You have these kind of super ripe ones. If you're a fan, go ahead. I'm not a fan of using really ripe ones. I like these better for baking. So I'm going to put those in the freezer, but I'm going to use these bananas. Now, ideally they would have been a little more yellow, but you know how these grocery stores are, y'all, sometimes. Sometimes they sell bananas in a straight green. I don't know how they get away with it, but they do. So we're gonna add bananas to this. You're gonna need 2. So we have our 2 bananas, and then we're gonna add half a cup of cashews. Now these cashews don't need to be soaked. If you wanna soak them, that's fine, but it is gonna kind of play with the texture of the porridge. So we're gonna keep them raw, unroasted, whole, unsoaked. Now, because we have bananas and cashews here, there's not a whole lot of sweetness going on. And like I said, sometimes when you're detoxing and you're cleansing, you can miss a little bit of that sweetness that you're used to when you have a porridge. So you're probably used to putting your brown sugar and your cinnamon, maybe some butter, some cream, that sort of thing. Well, obviously we're not doing that because this is a detox porridge, but we are gonna add some sweetness. So we're going to add 2 apricots. We're gonna have some dried apricots here. So we're gonna add 2 apricots in here. There's a lot of sweetness in dried fruit. Add that, and we're gonna add 3 figs. Now there's a load of sweetness in here, so that's gonna help a lot with bringing that up. Now, figs, y'all, I don't know if you've ever gotten dried fruit and then realized that you weren't the only one trying to eat it. Sometimes that happens because, you know, critters gotta eat too. So I like to cut open my dried fruit, especially my figs and my dates, y'all, because that's where I tend to find things that, you know, I don't wanna eat. So I make sure that my figs and my dried fruit are critter free. All right, y'all, so we have our bananas, we have our cashews, we have our figs, we have our apricots. Now, to make this more of our porridge situation, we're gonna add some milk because we want this to be nice and creamy. How much milk you use is up to you. Now, of course, we're not using cow's milk, y'all. This is plant-based. You can use whatever sort of plant-based milk you prefer. Today, I'm gonna be using a bit of almond milk, but you could use cashews, whatever. It's up to you. So I'm gonna add my milk into this. And y'all, now when it comes to the milk, I tend to add a little bit as I go along. So I'm starting off with about 3/4 of a cup, but if you like it super thick, start with 2/3. Now, when I make porridge, I love flavor and seasoning, all right? So I don't like my porridges to just be bland. So I'm going to be adding some maca powder because remember, this is our detox porridge. This maca powder, I love the way it has a caramelly taste. It's good for you, obviously, but I'm focused on the taste right now. I love how this tastes like caramel. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this. And y'all know, don't come ask me for measurements. You know how I feel about that. Although I will have a recipe for you. But you know, when you're making your thing, listen, let your spirit guide you. Just be with it. Don't try to figure out how much, how little. Just be present. It's porridge. It's porridge and it's your taste buds. You know what you like. So in addition to my maca powder, I'm gonna be using cardamom. I love cardamom. This is one of my favorite spices. So I'm gonna be using green cardamom. Now, you can use the powdered one, but honestly, y'all, I don't think it has the flavor. When you use fresh spices and then grind them on your own, mwah, the way that thing just pop. And like I said, we're detoxing. Our taste buds have been getting those boring, bland green juices. Child, we need some flavor, all right? So I'm gonna pop my seeds. Now inside, you're gonna find a bunch of little black seeds. And I'm gonna take these black seeds and I'm going to put them in my mortar and pestle, grind them up, and use that to season my porridge. Yes. That's why I like grinding my own spices, y'all, because when you get them already ground, some of that flavor and that smell and that aroma, it kind of dies down over time. But when you keep it in its whole form, it's locked up. And then you use your mortar and your pestle or a spice grinder and it just comes alive. It's so good. Now you may be thinking, Shelly, I don't have time for that. That's fine. However, like I said, this is mindful cooking. And with mindful cooking, I like to spend a little bit of time with each ingredient. And this is one way to do so. But if you don't have time, get it ground up. But I promise you, that flavor is not gonna be the same. Okay, y'all, so now everything is ready to go. We're just gonna blend. And remember to feel free to add milk as you go along if you want it creamier. Look at that, looking just like porridge. You see how easy that was? Listen, oh, I'm so excited. Now, always a taste test before you take this out and start, yumming. We need to make sure that it tastes like how we want it to taste. Come on. Ooh, it's so thick, girl. Yes, that's how I like it. It don't even want to come out the spoon. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This reminds me of like growing up with banana porridge and cornmeal porridge. Okay. Yes. It makes me excited every time because I'm telling y'all, detoxing and cleansing does not have to be boring. Listen, all you have to do is a little creativity. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be delicious. All right, so I'm not done yet. Now this porridge is sweet enough, but I'm also gonna add a little bit of extra toppings because, again, I don't want this to be boring. I want to have an exciting bowl of porridge to start my day. So we're gonna get this all set up and then we'll come back.
This is how you make the detox fun. You gotta give your nutrition a boost. The next time you decide to detox or cleanse or reset, I want you to head over to the School for Mindful Nutrition. You can learn how to make recipes just like this for yourself and more. Be sure to sign up for our next course, the Detox Diet.
So if you grew up on porridge, this is it. And you're detoxing and you're cleansing and you want that same morning feel, but of course you don't want the oats or the cream of wheat, this is gonna be perfect. And for those of you who are just kind of getting tired of the bland, boring foods, add some texture to it. I added some pomegranate, some figs, some pumpkin seeds, some goji berries. Listen, just because you're doing this in the name of wellness does not mean it has to be boring, okay? So let's give it a try. Wow. That's so good. And I drizzled this with some date syrup, y'all. Oh God, this is so good. This reminds me literally of growing up on banana porridge and wow. Y'all, you've been watching The Mindful Plate. Oh my goodness, give thanks. I'm so happy that God's goodness can be so delicious and so healthy for you. All right, if you want the recipe for this wonderful detox breakfast bowl of good banana cashew porridge, then you know what you need to do. Join the newsletter because I send it out every week and all the recipes you need are in there. Y'all, happy detoxing, happy cleansing, and until next time, eat well and be well. I'll see you then.